All right, let's shift gears. Let's come back here and let's talk the weather. It was cool yesterday, Carlene. Did I lie about it was going to be cold, Carlene?
You didn't lie.
I told you it was going to be cold.
It was
you didn't
cold.
thought I was being dramatic, and I said it was going to be cold. Majestic Storm is here.
You pay attention to the weather forecast.
I do.
Meteorologists always appreciate that.
I told Carlene thought I was just.
I did not.
She
I
did.
told you myself,
likes
and
to
you
pick
still
at me.
you didn't believe me, and you didn't believe him.
No, I was.
Oh,
And I got it.
she's taking off her headset.
And I got it from our weather impact team.
She's taking off her headset next. She's about to walk out the door.
You're trying to act like I don't listen.
Well, let's talk about it during the break, Carlene. We need to get to the
Okay, we'll sort
forecast.
it out. We'll
We
sort
need
it
to
out.
get to the forecast. Majestic Storm, warmer today. With 10
Yes.
degrees, about 10 degrees warmer.
Yeah, it's gonna be warm.
Yeah.
Mild today. Did you go on a run today outside?
No,
or
I was
did you pass?
inside. I was in the gym. It was still a little chilly.
Still a
for me.
little too. What's your
Yeah.
perfect morning temperature?
65, 70.
Oh,
Okay.
that's kind of a warmer morning.
Yeah, I like a warmer morning. I don't like
Okay.
the cold mornings.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm not motivated
Yeah.
No.
on a colder morning. A warmer morning, I'm good.
I
can do
get that. I get that. Well, you're going to like the forecast
Ooh,
coming
okay.
our way. All right, so let's get to it because we have a lot to talk about. I want to start with just how pretty it is outside. This is coming in live from Lake Norman, where generally we're just looking at a nice mix of sun and clouds. Seeing lots of people out there walking around, starting their day with a little bit of that nice sunshine, maybe walking their pups there. We did have a live camera coming in from Lylesville, but that one's not working for us, so we're just going to move on. We're looking at mild conditions today, very seasonal, right around where we should be for this time of the day. Back into the mid to upper 60s, so that's the norm, and we've been dealing with just fluctuating temperatures all across the board. We saw chilly early morning temperatures and then really warm daytime highs over the last few weeks, and maybe you're new to the Carolinas and you were thinking those 80s were the norm for this time of the year. And it's not. Our norms are really back into the mid to upper 60s. That's what we're planning for today. Now, by the end of our work week, we'll be warming things up. We're talking about record heat by Friday. Are you ready for that? And then this weekend, if you're already making some weekend plans, it's going to be really a comfortable weekend. Not too hot, not too cold, and we will have some sunshine. Right now, we're at 43 degrees for us. We're looking at Lincolnton checking in at 40. Up in the mountains, a little bit cooler into the 30s. So yes, still grab a jacket if you're heading out the door. I needed it this morning. Most people probably wanted one this morning. Into the afternoon, you may not need it because it's going to warm up nicely. You can see a live look behind those current temperatures that kind of paints the picture of the sky where we do have just a mix of the sun and clouds, and I would plan for that throughout the day. Yesterday we topped off at 57 degrees. We didn't even touch 60 degrees yesterday, so below our average. Today we're forecasting a high of 67 degrees, and it should be a really nice spring day. Right on track. I told you it's a seasonal day. Our normal high for this time of the year, it's 67. What are we forecasting today? 67, so not doing too bad. Again, we'll have some sunshine mixed in with those intermittent clouds, but we're staying nice and dry. A big part of the weather story over the last couple of mornings has been the high fire danger. We've been talking about dry conditions, gusty winds, how everything is just so dry that it was so easy for fires to start and how hard it would be to contain those fires if and when they started. So you'd still need to keep your guard up when it comes to that. Thankfully, those winds today, they will continue to die down, so winds aren't as big of a factor in our forecast as to what they have been over the last couple of days. But bottom line, our whole viewing area either under very high fire danger or extremely high, so that's not good. Just make sure you're paying attention to the little things that could just ignite a fire because everything's so dry that it could rapidly spread. Here's our satellite and radar. So we are seeing fine conditions across the Carolinas. We do have a little bit of cloud coverage out there. You'll notice that mixing in with the sunshine here and there, but not seeing anything too majorly concerning. Other than the pollen. The pollen is not great. I mean, we are at very high levels for tree pollen. Then we're looking at grass. Really, that's going to start to peak as we head towards May and June. And then another thing will be weeds, which we don't necessarily see that pollen really crank up until late summer. So right now, we're in the thick of things when it comes to tree pollen. That explains why everything is just yellow. This is my first time experiencing this here in the Carolinas. I've never experienced it, and It's no joke. It's literally accumulating. So a lot of people, not only are you annoyed that you have yellow all over your cars and your patio furniture and your deck and you want to go outside, but it's just kind of irritating. This is ongoing because pollen levels are high today as we're heading throughout the weekend, Friday and Saturday. Really, pine, oak, and sycamore just at extremely high levels. So if you suffer from allergies, we are in the thick of it. I know my car needs a car wash, but at this point, I don't know if it's worth it because it is going to continue for the next several weeks. Look at this graphic. I think this is interesting because it's showing you where the pollen is actually accumulating. You know, we have allergy issues really across the South, but this area specifically that's highlighted in yellow, this is where we're seeing that pollen actually accumulate. Yes, including our entire viewing area. So up to 1/10 of an inch, that's quite a bit. As far as rain goes, we need some rain. We're in a huge drought. We've been talking about high fire danger, and a good rinsing of the rain would help with that pollen. It'd be kind of nice to refresh things. But unfortunately, our overall opportunities for rain is looking so limited. We've been watching a little system that could sneak in on Friday and into Saturday, but the chances of it just kind of continues to go down and down. So do we have any widespread rain in our forecast over the next 7 days? Absolutely not. Really, the big story is we're warming things back up. Allergies are annoying. Pollen's all over the place. And we're going to be wrapping up the month of March, heading into the first few days of April with above average temperatures. Look at this graphic because the more orange we see, the more likely above average temperatures are going to persist. And it's not just across the South, we're talking across the country. It is going to warm up. So I know many people, you love the warmth. We're in the Carolinas. You're ready to just move on and have more consistent temperatures. We've been having a lot of inconsistencies in March, but April is going to start out with a bang with those warm temperatures. On Friday, we're forecasting a record high. Right now, our previous record for Friday is 85 degrees. We met that in 1950, and we're already forecasting 88 degrees on Friday. That's going to be a warm one. We should easily break that daily high record. All right, let's get to our Dairy Hut Supercenter 7-day forecast. Again, seasonal today, right where we should be, 67 degrees. It is going to be nice and pleasant. The winds calm down. We'll just see a good mix of sun and clouds today. So if you want to take that lunch break outside, that'll be fine. If you want to go for a walk, not too bad. Of course, if you have allergies, hopefully to have been taking some allergy medicine. 50 degrees for our overnight lows tonight. So waking up tomorrow morning won't be quite as cold. And then 80 degrees tomorrow. We're back into the 80s tomorrow. We're going to crank up the warmth even more Friday morning. I think that'll be good running temperatures for you, Nick. Friday morning,
Okay.
63 degrees, 88 by the afternoon. I know people love the warmth, so we're talking it's going to be Friday. We have sunshine, almost 80. That's going to be a nice way to kick off our weekend. Saturday and Sunday, not bad. We'll be waking up to 40s on Saturday, sunny skies. Again, we should have plenty of sunshine all throughout Saturday with low 60s. Sunday morning, I will say, in the morning, 37 degrees. So there could be a little bit of patchy frost out there. So if you're somebody who has gotten too excited, you already did some planting, even though we told you not to do it yet, hopefully you just did that in some pots and you can bring the pots inside or at least cover them. 65 degrees for our high on Sunday, and then next week we're just going to be turning up the heat. Mid 70s on Monday, Tuesday 80s, and it just keeps on getting warmer and warmer as we're nearing Easter weekend. There you go.
Oh man, I'm a little disappointed because we don't have rain in the forecast because we need the rain.
Yeah.
Like Majestic said, there's no need to get a car wash because
No.
pollen's it's just gonna keep coming
On everything.
on everything.
It's a lot. Everything is
Well, it's
yellow.
your first time experiencing
I've
it,
never
so I
experienced
can't-
anything like this in my life.
Yeah, I went to the car wash like last week, and now I feel like the biggest clown.
You are the best.
Thank you, Carlin. Thank you. And thank you, Majestic. All right.